Okay, for my guys over 50, and heck, this works for my guys in their 40s too. I want to break down fat loss, how to transform your physique, but most importantly, set yourself up so that you don't have to worry about your health for the next 40, 50 years. You don't drop dead at your desk because you're putting everything in front of your fitness right now. And all the stuff out there, all the trainers, all the coaches, all the diets, it started to feel so complicated that you just don't know where to begin. So in the next 8 minutes, and I'm trying to keep close eye on the timer, we're going to break all this down. Let's start with this. Okay. The first thing, because this is a unedited, very just direct video. It's my style. Okay. I could do all the fancy stuff, but today we're just going right for the jugular here. We're going to knock out fat loss, and we're going to cover some pretty in-depth stuff in a very short period of time. First thing we have to understand, we got to get our routine and our systems dialed in the same way we do it in other parts of our life. So with your career, you've probably had a really well thought out system and routine for a long time. Maybe you deal with clients, maybe you deal with team members, maybe you run a business, maybe you manage a lot of people. Who knows? At the end of the day, your system works. It works because guess what? You've planned it out, you've refined it, you've fine-tuned it, you've adjusted it over time. So I think a lot of people think fitness is like some magical thing that doesn't require any kind of system or routine. The problem, though, when we start looking at the routines out there that you start to consider, they just don't fit into your life, okay? Because if we're being honest, right now, one of the big worries if we're in our 40s and 50s is time. We don't have time, nor do we want to make time to spend 90 minutes in the gym 5 days a week. That's for the younger crew, right? That's for the guys and the girls who want to socialize in the gym. And it's more of a community, social hour than it is actual training. What we really need, though, is to carve out 30 to 45 minutes 3 to 4 times per week with the intention of training with purpose. Okay, so we need to look at what are the exercises, and I'm an old school guy. I like basic stuff that we can do on dumbbells, machines, because that to me is what builds the most muscle, helps you hold on to the most muscle. But what are the key exercises that are going to fit you and your needs to make sure the entire body is trained over the course of 3 to 4 days, 30 to 45 minutes? We don't need to do anything fancy, okay? We don't need to have 18 exercises. We don't need to do, all these training routines that require us to set up fancy equipment and jump around the gym and all this stuff. No, we need to go, okay, what are the 4 exercises I can do? Each one takes about 6 to 10 minutes to complete the sets and the reps I want to do. I'm in and out of the gym, business done, on to the next thing in my day, okay? We also have to pick a time that is going to be non-negotiable with our training, because fat loss and body transformation and physique development, especially as we get older, our bodies and our brains are really hardwired to be seeking out consistency. Okay. So if we're training at night some days, and then some weeks we go in the morning, and then sometimes we're doing it at lunchtime, it's like we can't get in sync, man. Like we got to pick a time and stick with it. I'm very biased, okay? I like training first thing in the morning. By the way, this is the kind of stuff that I outline in our 21-day rapid fat loss protocol. Now, at the timing of this video, it's pre-holidays. We're a couple weeks out from Thanksgiving. We're a couple months or a month and a half out from Christmas. Now is the time where I always run this protocol. If you want a copy, just comment rapid below this video and I'll send it to you. Also, I should say this, I've been coaching guys in their 40s and 50s who have families who want a very, very impressive physique, but also want to live a very long time and don't want to die and leave their kids hanging. That is that's who I work with. And I've been doing it now for 21 years, since 2004. So if you're interested, I did put a link below. You can watch a quick video, schedule a consultation. It's not a hard pitch. It's actually an action plan building call, but nonetheless, we have 8 minutes here, so we're over halfway through. We got to keep going. So if you want more info, check that out. All right, and just comment the word rapid. I'll send you a link. You can get the guide. All right. So the workout stuff. Like once again here, if you're watching this, you're probably someone who kind of knows how to work out already. You know the basics. You know what a bench press is. You know what a dumbbell curl is. What I'm trying to do is make you think about the mental hardwiring that needs to take place. Now, with nutrition, okay, because a lot of guys go, well, I want to have my, 3 or 4 glasses of wine every week. I want to have a couple slices of cake at birthday parties. Like, I want to be able to take my spouse or my partner out or whatever and have real food and not feel like a weirdo who can't eat anything but salads. Totally get it. Here's what you have to get dialed in. The normal time. The normal time. The normal time is there's nothing going on. You don't need to go eat that breakfast sandwich. You don't need to eat that little Snickers bar. You don't need to go drink a soda. You don't need to do that stuff. This is normal time. Like most of the time, right? If we're being honest, let's pick out meals and maybe a couple snacks that we can just eat and the calories are well under control. There's no issue, okay? So that way, on Thursday night, when your spouse wants to sit down, watch a movie, have a glass of wine, you can say yes to that because you have the calories to play with. You can also say yes to the cake at the birthday party on Saturday for your brother or whatever, okay? Calories have to be dialed in. Now, guess what? You're probably thinking I'm going to tell you to eat a bunch of protein. I'm not. I'm going to tell you to eat a decent amount, okay? The way to get a decent amount of protein is to get protein in at every meal. It doesn't have to be loads of protein. A small piece of chicken, a small piece of fish, some eggs, a protein shake, a protein bar, okay? Just, you got to get enough so your body has enough fuel to work with. You don't need to load up on protein, okay? Inside of our coaching system, we can fine tune this stuff. Now, as we get older, we also have to be aware of something. Our hormones are changing. So we got to be really, really consistent with making sure our blood work looks good. Our hormones look good. When those two things start to go down the wrong path, bad things can happen, okay? Now, a lot of this can get cleared up just by taking care of yourself, sleeping a little bit better, training a little more consistently, eating the right amount of food, eating healthy nutrients more, all that stuff, right? That can lead to healthier blood work, healthier hormones. But with all the advancements in the hormone marketplace, in the peptide marketplace, it makes a lot of sense for us to use those tools if needed. They're not something I require in my program or tell every guy to use, but this is the game, okay? So the one thing I didn't mention, I save it for the last 30 seconds here, is a movement-based lifestyle. What this means is we need to start improving our commitment to movement. I'm not saying you have to walk all day and hit 20,000 steps. I'm saying you need to say, you know what? I could take the stairs right now. So instead of taking the escalator, I'm going to take the stairs. Just get a little bit more movement in where possible. Now, we're going to stop here in terms of like teaching about fat loss. I said 8 minutes and we're right at that point. Comment below if you have questions on fat loss. If you're in your 40s and 50s, I'll answer every single question. All right. I check out the description. I have a lot of guides, but the next step from here would be to use the rapid fat loss protocol for 21 days, get you off on the right foot, build some momentum, build some consistency. And then once you have the basics in place, then we can start to advance your protocols if needed. But in reality, if you have the things I just talked about in place, the only thing you might be lacking is accountability. You just might need that support system, which I think most high performers do because we have just so much going on, right? We're not going to pay attention to things unless we have someone telling us to pay attention to them. Our calendars are booked out. We got calls, we got work. We can always fill up our calendars with more stuff. Get accountability. Consider getting some support. That's what we do. It's what we're built for. It's what we have done for now 20 years. So I'm going to wrap up here. Life moves fast. Make it count. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.